Anyone who has committed murder knows that no matter how you hide a body, it will almost always be discovered in the end. You might think your plan is foolproof, but in reality, you've already been targeted by the entire natural world and high-tech criminal investigation. When it comes to hiding a body, many people immediately think of carrying it into the deep mountains and burying it overnight, thinking they can finally rest in peace. But you are seriously underestimating the natural instincts of plants in the wild. The human body stores 2 kilograms of nitrogen and 1 kilogram of phosphorus for the underground root system. This is equivalent to a huge amount of top-quality, long-lasting compound fertilizer falling from the sky. As the body slowly decomposes in the soil, it creates an extremely rich source of nutrients. The energy island, when the following spring arrived, was covered in yellowish-green grass across the entire mountain. Except for the spot where you buried someone, the grass there was a vibrant, glossy green with leaves that were noticeably larger. Modern criminal investigators don't need to search tree by tree. They can simply deploy a drone equipped with a multispectral camera to search the mountain. Areas with abnormally high spectral readings on the screen appear glaringly like large red circles drawn on a map. Moreover, once the soil is broken up, a ground-penetrating radar scan reveals cross-sections with abnormal dielectric constants, like an ultrasound of the Earth, clearly indicating the depth and location. And then there is the matter of tying a large rock to a piece of cold water hundreds of meters deep. At the bottom of the reservoir, can you really hide from the world? Nature will slap you hard with a chemical reaction inherent in the human body, adipose formation. The human body contains extremely high levels of fat. In the low-temperature, oxygen-deficient, and slightly alkaline environment of the underwater world, fatty acids undergo a large-scale saponification reaction. After hydrolysis, these fatty acids gradually solidify into a grayish-white, soap-like hard outer shell. This shell acts like a natural protective suit, preserving the internal organs and bones intact for decades, until the rope binding the stone rots and breaks. This human-shaped body with a density less than water will be revealed. The soap will leisurely float to the surface. You intended to destroy the evidence, but nature has directly turned you into a high-standard waterproof specimen, delivered right to your door. So, take you to an abandoned factory, burn you to ashes, and scatter the ashes. Surely there will be no evidence left, right? This only shows you are completely unaware of the power of modern forensic science. The core component of human bones is hydroxyapatite, with an incredibly high temperature resistance. Even if thrown into an industrial incinerator at thousands of degrees Celsius and burned to ashes, the remaining bone fragments still firmly hold fragments of the deceased's DNA. Even more impressive is the DNA within the bones. The stable isotope code reveals that the proportions of carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, and oxygen in the water and food we drink from childhood to adulthood are completely different. Forensic experts can place trace amounts of cremated remains in a microscopic spectral analyzer to determine the city the deceased lived in and the types of rice and noodles they frequently ate. Some people believe the safest method is to seal the body in cement, placing it in a wall crack and pouring concrete, thinking it will permanently seal the body underground. However, this falls into a double trap of physics and chemistry. While the cement may appear perfectly sealed after hardening, it is actually filled with dense, beaded micropores, some several meters in diameter. The diameter of a corpse is tens or hundreds of nanometers, while the odor molecules produced by the decomposition of a body, such as hydrogen sulfide and ammonia, are less than 0.4 nanometers in diameter. This is like trying to trap mosquitoes with a bird fence. The stench will overflow without any resistance. What is even more ridiculous is that the cement releases heat violently as it hardens, causing the shoulder straps to shrink. The thicker the seal, the more severe the cracks become, essentially giving the odor a directional nozzle. Moreover, the strong alkalinity of the cement will forcibly suppress the activity of the putrefactive bacteria. What should have been a 6-month process is stretched into a stench marathon that lasts for several years, with the odor wafting into the hallway, even bothering the neighbor. Call the police. This wall, which had been a protective shield, has now become irrefutable evidence. At this point, some clever individuals abandon their plans to hide the body, thinking that cleaning the crime scene spotless will suffice. They mop the floor with disinfectant dozens of times until not a trace of blood is visible to the naked eye. This is where the luminol reagent, the glow-in-the-dark magic water of forensic techniques, comes in. Upon contact with even the trace amounts of iron ions in hemoglobin, it instantly emits an extremely bright, ghostly blue fluorescence. Its sensitivity reaches a terrifying 1/1 millionth, meaning even a single drop blood diluted in a pool of water will glow precisely. The process of frantically mopping will scatter iron ions everywhere. When the forensic examiner turns off the lights and sprays reagents, the trail of your frantic mopping will glow brightly in the darkness, a cyberpunk-style fluorescent stage. In the face of modern science, any attempt to completely evaporate a person is futile. The most reliable way to truly make someone disappear from your life is to lend them 100,000 yuan. Believe me, on the day they repay the loan, they will evaporate completely.